first started, I was putting more money into it than I was getting out of it, right? And you're seeing the money go out, but you ain't seeing the money coming back.
Yeah.
But you stuck to it.
Yes.
What did you see? What were you saying to yourself? Walk me through what that was like to get to where you're at now.
My first job was for my father's best friend. His name is Butcher Douglas. My dad, Craig Farley Jr. He had a birthday party. And it was the same camera that I was using for music videos, because that's what I really first started doing, was music videos. And I got tired of that because it was easy money, but there was no growth creatively for me. Everybody wanted to do the same thing. Have a little something, sit in front of the car. Sometimes there were guns involved, and I didn't like the energy, I didn't like the way that felt, but it was easy money. And so I got a birthday party. And like I said, it was my dad's best friend's birthday party. And that, when I was able to capture personal moments, candid moments, that's when the light bulb went off that this is the thing that I can really take and drive to the next level. Because what it really took me to, see, my dad taped everything me and my brother did. So from 1986 to 2002, I saw myself grow up on video. And myself in Mickey Mouse draws, and you know what I mean? Exclusive.
Yeah, look at Ashy and you're just happy.
Damn, you had to put the Ashy on me, but I was. Yeah, ashy, dusty, hairline would look like a, you know what I'm saying, EKG, you know what I'm saying? But happy.
Man,
but I saw myself grow up on video, and to see that is special. And so to me, my job is to try to take the most people's personal moments and make them great. You know what I mean? And so I did my first birthday party. That spread word of mouth. And it was slow. You're right. It was like, man, I can't really say I was pouring a lot of money into it, because it was just buy the camera.
Yeah, you had the camera.
Get the job, right? Get the computer, because I already had invested into the stuff for the studio. But there was a lack of, because, when you're creating a brand, the first thing you have to do is gain people's trust.
That's real.
And so nobody knew Signature Production. They never, you know what I'm saying? So, let alone an African-American videographer in Iowa.
Right.
So it was just a lot of friends and family. That's how I got my first jobs. But through consistency, through year after year, doing a party here, a party there. Then I got a wedding. And then people saw the consistency in the work. And the byproduct of that is just where I'm at now. I just literally that process is what I've stuck to the entire time.
And I can attest to that. If you want to chop this up into a commercial for Signature Productions, by all means go. But I have to say, bro, like when we had you for My City, My Health, like there was literally no stress that I knew you were going to be there. Like there was no I hope he come here on time. Like, where's Craig? I'm not looking for you, because I know he gonna be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's something, there's an energy to that is contagious, to where even in my own personal life, that's just outside of like work stuff, right?
Right.
I want people to know that they can count on me, or I'm gonna do what I can, do what I say.
Yeah.
Because there's a good energy with that, where people are like, okay, I know if I call Corey, he's going to answer.
Yes.
Or if I ask Corey if he can do this for me, if it's within my means,
right,
I'm going to do that.
Right.
And I think even outside of business, there's something to say about consistency as a person.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's again, that's another thing that gives me validation. You do it because it's a part of the brand.
Right.
I don't want nobody wasting my time, and I want people to understand I'm not trying to waste yours. And I know I've had services where somebody shows up last minute, and it's nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? And part of the experience with Signature Production is peace of mind. I need you to know that I'm gonna be here, because again, you're paying for a service, and that takes away some anxiety from people. I mean, is he going to show up? Is he not? You don't want people thinking that way, because every interaction is a part of your brand. And people, are they going to walk away saying something good about you, or are they going to walk away saying something bad?
and them bad words they travel.
They seem to have a little bit more of a reverb than the good ones. And that's why it takes, to grow. The thing I've learned is, and it takes a lot of focus, but that consistent positive is what you need.
Yes.
I mean, that consistent good experience is what helps your brand grow. So I got a philosophy, one thing about all the greatest people who have made it, your Jordans, your Tom Brady's, your Kobe Bryant's, in all sports, in all arenas, one thing I learned about them is they all were consistent in their effort. You know what I mean? And their consistency is stood out above anybody else in their arena. But that's what separates people. It's just consistency. It's not even rocket science.
I know.
It's not.
But it's hard though.
You know what?
For some people, like to start, when you're starting with someone, if you don't have, I also feel like having the right people around you
that is key.
important too.
That is so critical.
Because for me, when I was starting the podcast and creating my company, I don't really feel like I was by myself. I had people be like, yo, this is dope, keep doing it, even if they didn't really know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was almost kind of motivation for me to keep going. Like, okay, I can be consistent. But I feel like if I was trying to be consistent just on my own, I would need something. I want to say my boy Coach Ju said this last time. Like, a lot of his ambitions in the beginning were fueled by anger. Like, he had to find, almost like Jordan, like that Jordan mentality, where he will have to find something or even make something up.
Find something to keep himself motivated. Right.
But you can burn out from that if you don't have a good team around you.
You hit on that, man. On the flip side, the consistency is I have consistently always had people in my life motivating me, telling me, from friends to family. There's always been somebody that's saying, Craig, I see what you're doing, and continue to do it. We see you. Keep doing it. It's going to pay off. And trust me, I've had times where I thought about stopping. I've had times where I thought about giving up because business wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. But I didn't give up, and, it's paid off. Nipsey Hussle, I was a huge Nipsey Hussle fan, and he had a lot of success. He employed over 432,000 people out there in Slauson. That whole strip he turned into a completely booming business area. And they interviewed him. They said, hey, if you had to give anybody advice, what would you say? He said, man, I just didn't quit.
Yo.
It's nothing more, to the formula than just staying consistent. I got I think I like to say it's called a snowball philosophy. As an entrepreneur, having a brand, having a business, we're that first snowball to get started, and all the customers are snow. What's the one thing that will stop a snowball from growing in a field? What's the only thing that's going to stop a snowball from growing?
No snow. Or
no
momentum.
Snow or momentum. So if it stops, so if you got a field full of snow and you start pushing that snow, no matter the pace, it's that it's moving.
Right.
So if it's moving slow, it'll grow slowly. There's times where it might hit a hill, pick up some speed, and it'll grow a little bit quicker. But the only thing that's going to stop it from growing is if it stops. And so I say, for anybody that has a dream or ambition, it doesn't matter how fast you're moving. It's the fact that you keep moving. Because that's the byproduct of doing it. You know what I mean? The word of mouth is one of the biggest things that we can have. And no brand grows without consistency. Starbucks took a long time to take off.
Yeah.
Google took a long time to take off. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I remember when they were like the apps you just looked over.
Yeah.
And didn't pay attention to. But they stayed consistent, and look where they are. And I don't think that fails in any arena. When it comes to sports and doing anything. If you're consistent, your jump shot will get good. What's Steph Curry will shoot 100 threes in a row.
That's what I'm saying.
Consistency, man. It's a formula that works for everybody.
Yeah.
But you hit on it. I don't know what it is that blocks people from doing that, though. Have you ever had, let me ask you, have you had a fear of what your greatness could actually be?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was a fear of what my greatness could be. It was, I had the confidence of knowing, I can do something great. But the fear was, but how do I get there?
Mm.
What are the sacrifices?
Mm.
Being consistent means doing things when you don't want to do them. You know how many times I be sitting at my desk looking at video, knowing I got to edit this. I'm like, I ain't trying to do none of this.
Because ain't nothing fast about editing.
They nothing.
It's slow.
Yeah,
Takes a lot of time.
Well, and then you've created a certain look and feel to your brand, so that has to be a certain way. You just can't put anything out there,
No,
right?
no.
So like, it wasn't the fear of, oh, I know I can be great, but the fear was, can I do what it takes?
Mm-hmm.
That was hard. That was something I had to really think about. And after I figured it out, it was like, after I was like, you know what? Yes, I wanted it. I had a team. I was not a team, but I had people around me in my circle. I had people who were doing good things, who were giving me positive affirmations. Not because I like, oh, well, it was me. They're like, no, Corey, you're good. Like, hey, we see what you're doing. Like, bro, keep it up. You got it.
Right.
And that kind of stuff makes you stay up until midnight to do the things that you don't want to do.
Yes. Yeah, no, I know that, man. Shout out John Martin, my dude. The biggest project I had done that really gave me the confidence about doing like Through the Lens was he had approached me back in, it's 2011. And he had a concept. You know what a cipher is? What a traditional cipher was, right?
Yeah.
So he had this thing called, he wanted to call cipher sessions. And it was sticking away from the traditional where you just get in front of the DJ and then you rap. He wanted to make it kind of like the musical, where there was theme and there was areas that we went to. We were in the mall. We were at a restaurant. We went to all different. We went to Oak Ridge. It was in the a little more of the hood vibe or whatever on the basketball court. And he had seen my work, and he came to me and was like, I got a vision based off what you've done. I feel like you could bring it to life. And we did it. But I've always worked a full-time job. He sat down there with me. I was staying up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because I completely produced it on my own. I'm talking about from all the audio. There was eight or 10 rappers. I recorded every one of their verses, edited all their verses, shot every camera scene, edited everything.
Man.
But I did that on my own. Now, he did help with the directing and the logistics and all that, but taking that on at such an early age of my company gave me the confidence to take on bigger projects, especially solo. And I've always been solo most of the time.
Solopreneur, solo dolo.
But, it's crazy because, when I look back in retrospect, it's always some moment or something that gives you the ability to know you can be more. And that was critical for me in terms of taking on larger projects. It was so critical for somebody to believe in me like that, and to he kind of let me take the reins, you know what I mean? Because he had his vision as well, and he gave me his idea, and I would kind of run the shoes, and he gave me control. It was his idea, and in a nutshell, that's what I do. Is take your idea, take your vision, and people trust me to interpret into a vision that they had. That's what signature production is.
Man, that's dope. Brother, before I get you out of here, man, give me one thing you do every day to keep your mindset on the right track. And what's for the viewer, somebody listening right now, if there's one thing you could say to them to give them motivation to be consistent, what would that be?
One thing I would say to somebody that's watching, period, is that when you're doing something with a pure heart and good intentions, you can never go wrong. Because karma is real. And when we put out negative karma, we get negative energy back. And I think that's the same thing for positive. And so, I'm a man of faith. I believe in a higher power. And I try to walk and treat people every day the way that he would expect me to. And I could say the one thing that has led me right is that I've always tried to just be a good person and treat people right. And see, to me, good karma hits you when you least expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I've had, just say a bill or something break down or something, and it's like, man, this is bad timing. But then on the flip side, the good karma will hit me right. And I'm like, but? They'll be like, well, it looks like it wasn't as expensive as we thought. I'm like, and I swear, Corey, it happens 8 out of 10 times. And I sit here and wonder why. Why? But it just hits you right when you need it. So like for anybody, I would say just living with a pure heart and good intentions, you can never go wrong because that good karma will always affect you when you least expect it.
Living with a pure heart and good intentions, you can never go wrong.
No.
And we gonna stop with that.
Yes.
Craig, again, thank you, brother. I appreciate you being on the show with me today, man.
We've look, Corey's a good dude, man. We graduated out of African American Leadership Academy.
Yes.
I've probably got the strongest relationship with you from that.
Yeah,
and
man.
I've seen you grow, and so I'm proud of you as a friend. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man.
Continue to do what you're doing, man.
That, man.
Big things coming.
Big things coming, man. Big things going. So that's what the African American, I'm sure any leadership academy, but that's what I got the most out of that experience was this connection. And shout out to all the fellows, but there are some connections that were made that will be forever. And it was such a blessing to be able to be a part of that.
Yes,
for real.
Absolutely. Shout out to the African American Leadership Academy and the new class, man. They got some great people in there.
Yeah. Well, you got to say that.
Yes, sir.
You got to say that. Out of anybody on this couch, you got to say that. But hey, this is Coffee Can't Fix Everything. This is a show about mental health over a cup of coffee. I am not a mental health therapist. If you're listening to this and you're watching this, if you need services, get help. We want you to get that help. Information will be in the description of this episode below.